So how would my life be without the priesthood? For one, yesterday, having home church without the priesthood, it wouldn't make sense to have home sacrament. But we did have home sacrament. And that was a blessing for us. It meant a lot to be able to dress up in a white shirt and tie, even just for staying at home during the sacrament. It showed me how, it helped me realize just how much respect we need to have for these priesthood ordinances. My life would also be very different if I didn't have the priesthood, because then when I got married, we used the priesthood for that, to seal Asia and I so we could be a family after this life. And without the priesthood, that would just be hopeful thinking and really wouldn't be a covenant with God. Those are the two things that I can think of off the top of my head. Love you bunches. Have fun.
What would my life be like without the priesthood? My life would be so much different. Simple things like baptism, holding the priesthood as an Aaronic priesthood holder, and all the way through Melchizedek priesthood. My temple ordinances, sealing to my wife and my family. Those things are key for me and so important. I can't imagine not having them. Not having the words of a living prophet to guide and direct us, especially in these days. If there were no priesthood at all, I wonder, would there be a creation? Would we even have life as we know it? It plays such an important part in my life. I can't imagine my life not having the priesthood. It would be completely different, and the priesthood has been a guidance for me and been part of the core that gives me meaning to life. And I'm so grateful for the priesthood.
If I didn't have the priesthood, my life would probably be a mess of mass proportion. It's pretty much incorporated in everything, that we do in our church, and I know that it has given me so many blessings.
The priesthood, I think, especially during these times, like the last few weeks since we haven't had church, and we've been able to have a sacrament at home by Taylor. It's made me realize how much more grateful I am for the priesthood, that we have it, in our homes, and that we can have the sacrament at home no matter what happens. And I am grateful for the priesthood because of temple ordinances, and that it helps us to renew our covenants, and that we can be sealed to our families so we can be with them forever. And without the priesthood, we wouldn't have our patriarchal blessings, which have been really great guidance in my life. I think about regularly, and just priesthood blessings and stuff. So anyway, I think without the priesthood, there would be a lot more confusion in my life, and a lot less peace and happiness and joy. So that's it.
I think my life without the priesthood would just simply be harder. It's easier with it.
What would my life be without the priesthood? To me, life without having the priesthood in my home or on the earth, would be a lot less hopeful. I love I love the security that comes from knowing that me and my family and I, are sealed together forever through the power of the priesthood. I love that if my kids or myself or my husband, if any of us are having a hard time, if we're sick, if we need an extra boost of help from heaven, we can get blessings from those that have the priesthood. If ever I'm feeling scared at home for any reason, it's always comforting to me to know that my husband holds the priesthood and is able to have the power of God in our home. Without the priesthood, I would feel less of God's presence in my life, and I would feel a lot more hopeless. I'm so grateful that I have the priesthood in my home, that my husband holds the priesthood, that my dad was able to give me blessings all growing up, and I feel great peace whenever I have interactions with the priesthood. And clearly, this little guy has a lot to say about it too.
I'm so thankful for the priesthood. Since an early age, I know that every time I've gotten a blessing, whether it was because I was sick or going back to school or needed guidance, it always was a special opportunity to feel God's love for me and also feel close to Dad or whoever was giving the blessing. And Mom is always very supportive of blessings and encouraging us to get them. And I'm also very thankful for God giving us the authority to conduct His work here on earth, and for the covenants that we have through that priesthood authority to make those covenants and agreements with Him. I know that the covenants protect us and help us to have faith and hope that we can get through hard times and overcome our weakness and mistakes. And without the priesthood, I don't think it would be a little more, just feel a little more lost and not feel that power quite as strongly. Anyway, thankful for the priesthood.
So to answer your question, how would my life be different without the priesthood? I think everything would be different. Number one, I wouldn't be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because I would not have been baptized. I wouldn't have my family sealed to me. I wouldn't be sealed to your dad. And a lot of the experiences that I have had in my life that have strengthened my testimony have been connected with the priesthood. For instance, blessings that I've gotten of healing, blessings that my children have had when you guys were little and you had maybe an ear infection or something, and you got a blessing and stopped crying. The time in the woods when my dad commanded the weather to stop raining when we were with the young women in the Uintas on our 50-miler, and it was cold and we wanted to have our testimony meeting. The rain just stopped and sky cleared. And so early on, that was a big testimony to me of the power of the priesthood. And so, yeah, if there wasn't a priesthood, I would not have had those experiences. So yeah, I think my life would be totally different without the priesthood. And it's fun to have a husband that is worthy to hold it and blesses my life and my family's and children's lives.
And I would just like to echo everything that my family has said. I have a testimony that is very strong of the priesthood, and honestly my life probably would not have any direction without it. And I am very grateful for a loving Heavenly Father that has restored this power here on earth, and that has given me the opportunity to have blessings and guidance and happiness while we're going through this journey here on earth.